So last time we saw how Savitri's father Ashwapati is answering Narad. His query was, "What sudden God has met? What face supreme?" Now this itself is a great event. Narad is already speaking of Savitri meeting a face supreme. Something great, something momentous, something very dramatic also is indicated here. And then in answer to that, Ashwapati gives a very poetic reply. The red Ashoka watched her going forth, which now sees her return. As I said last time, it indicates that there is a Ashoka tree at the entrance to the palace, and the chariot drove past it when she went on her quest. Now she is coming back, and the same red Ashoka is watching her coming back. Now, here I have a few pictures of the flowering Ashoka. Very beautiful tree, you see. The yellowish golden flowers, red flowers, you see. Normally, they bloom, these trees, from February to April. April. February maybe a little earlier, maybe from March to June, roughly. Actually, as I told you, they had one Ashoka tree at the entrance of the ashram on the left side. That tree died. Now they have put another sapling there, and it has grown this stuff. Ashoka. Yeah. It's not flowering, but it's there. The only ones I have seen here are the tall ones. No, but they are not. They are not very tall. No, they are not. They are not Ashokas. They are not very tall trees. And also, many of these flowers they look exactly like Exura flowers. Exactly. I was going to say that thing. They look exactly like Exura. Yeah. But Exura is a shrub-like thing. This is a plant. Yeah, they look exactly like red Exura. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with you. The fact that in the Ramayana there is a mention of Ashoka tree in Lanka, Ceylon, it means that they're spread throughout the subcontinent. Mothers, I don't think she has given name for that. No, I don't think so. And well, Ashoka means grief place, sorrow is. Ashoka, Ashoka, Shoka means sorrow. Means no sorrow. Free of sorrow. Yeah.
Dukkha, dukkha is what is dukkha? Dukkha is also sorrow.
Pardon me? Dukkha. Adukha.
It's also sorrow.
Yeah, it is opposite of that. There is no dukkha. Yeah.
Dukkha
Yeah, sukha. Well, it's not. It is. It's in negative sense. It means without sorrow. Sukha is more positive than adukha. So this is the description of Ashoka. Actually, there are two places in Savitri where the mention of Ashoka appears. One is here, and the other one is 93.31. Yeah, he says, Ashokas burned in crimson sparks of flame, pure like breath of an unstained desire. That is in the spring. You see, they describe the spring, and the flowering time is normally between, say, mid-February till mid-May also sometimes. As I told you, this tree has the conventional meaning. The etymological meaning is grief place. Shoka. Means no. Shoka means grief. That is what shoka means basically. You see. But this is a tree which is present in many descriptions of Indian literature, ancient Indian literature, Ramayana, in Meghadoot, Kalidas, and then it is said that uh, Buddha was born under the Ashoka tree in the garden. And it's a very kind of a common theme in the temples. You have the description of heavenly damsels holding the branch of Ashoka tree with their hand up like that. Sculpted statues are there like that, you see. So this is a very common kind of a theme there. And as I told last time, the Kalidasian description is very romantic, and he says that the trees are flowering when the maiden sprinkles wine from her mouth on the tree, you see. Very romantic also, you see. And so in that sense, I think that association of love of the maiden blossoming like that is very pertinent here. Why even though of all the flowers says Ashoka to while describing Savitri, because it is the context of the love she has discovered, and she is now flowering up beautifully like that, you see. A face supreme, another face supreme. And then he is asking her, well, by the way, arisen into an air of flaming dawn like a bright bird tired of her lonely branch. So Savitri is now being described like a bird. Until now she was driving the chariot, but now she is flying on wings, cleaving her way with the beat of her rapid wings. She is coming hastily back to the palace, rapid wing, led by a distant call, her vague, swift flight. You see, bird, rapid wing, flight, these are all descriptions of the bird now here, you see. And he says, well, this is what I know. She had gone there, she has come back now. What has happened in between, he would not know. But of course, Narad already knows. And the fact that she has come back, she is happy, she is joyous, she is jubilant also. It means that she has found her life's partner. The happy, therefore, the happy rest her burdened lashes keep. Her eyes are telling me that yes, yes, it has happened. But what has that happened? How the events actually took place? That she is keeping back from her. Super. And then he says, and these charmed guardian lips hold treasured still. Then he addresses a virgin who comest perfected by joy, reveal the name thy sudden heartbeats learned. Now, Ashwapati is calling her a virgin. She is married in a way to Satyavan already, but it does not mean that a conjugal union has taken place. Their meeting was hardly a meeting for 3 4 hours, as we had earlier. So they met, they had agreed, yes, we shall be together. So although in that sense they have betrothed to each other, she is definitely a virgin. See. So the aptness of words, you see, is very important that way. Why he is calling it virgin who cometh perfected by joy. Perfected joy, obviously, the virgin will be perfected by joy when she discovers her lover, when she finds her life's partner. Whom hast thou chosen, kingliest among men? Now, the expectation of the father is that Savitri has found a prince as a life partner, kingliest, and not a youth who is exiled to the forest, living in the hermitages and things like that. That is the expectation of the father, you see. somebody, so to say, of his equal status. See that way. Kingliest among men. That is the immediate meaning. Kingless also means, obviously, in the metaphorical sense, whomsoever you have chosen as your life partner, he is the king, he is the lord of your life. He is the lord of your life, you see. So his questions are very short, brief, quick, and then whom hast thou chosen, kingliest among men? Now, in the narrative as we have here, we don't know whether Ashwapati was getting kind of reports from time to time where she is, in what part of the country she is now. Because definitely, when she is going as a person in search of somebody, as a princess, there will be following her a royal envoy. Will be there. There will be an army. There will be a convoy also guarding her while she's moving from place to place. So naturally, through them, he must be getting from time to time the reports. He says, "Now we are here. Now we are here. Now we are here." That is not disclosed here in the epic as we have here at all. See, therefore, he is asking you whom. But Narad, of course, knows already. He has seen everything from above. What has happened that morning? And Savitri answered with a still, calm voice, as one who speaks beneath the eyes of fate. Beneath the eyes of fate. Now, this is something about which the poet has not prepared us to accept in the entire descriptions which were there earlier. Why she is speaking under the eyes of fate? She is a happy person, jubilant. She had discovered her life's partner, and the whole thing should be a glorious unfoldment from this point onward. There is no question of eyes of fate watching on her at all, you see.
But she would have heard Narad's clothing, which was already quite
Yeah,
warning.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that would make sense.
exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But whether she was perceptive to that, we don't know. Possibly. Yeah, possibly. Narad had made a very kind of a dubious close, and therefore she must have sensed something also, possibly, already, possibly. But speaks beneath the eyes of fate. See, this is more a general statement, not the contextual vis-a-vis Narad's description. As if one who speaks beneath the eyes of fate, whether she is here or there, she is as if constantly speaking. This is a little puzzling statement for me also. You see why she has not sensed anything of fate at all, and why she should be. So this is something we can say a kind of a commentary of the poet on the entire development of what was happening all along, you see. And then he says, and Savitri answered with a still, calm voice. Obviously, this is understood, still, calm voice. Although she is happy, she is jubilant, she is emotional, and all that thing, yet she is calm. She is calm. Because she is speaking under the eyes of fate. She is speaking under the eyes of fate. So she still keeps calm, you see. And then she answers, Father and King, I have carried out thy will. Now, this is something, again, important. First, of course, we have here father, and she is addressing to her father, father and king. I mean, normally she will simply say father, my father. Why should say king? For his daughter, he is his father, that's all. He is not a king for her, see, for her. Now, I think father, of course, that endearment is there, but king, because he had kind of commanded her, go and find out your life's partner. None has come. None has come. Therefore, she says, I carry out thy will. As a father, as a king, or whatever, you have commanded me to go and find out. I have carried out your will. And in the fulfillment of that will, now I am coming back. You see, I have carried out thy will. One whom I sought, I found in distant lands. I have obeyed my heart, I heard his call. Now, this is important. Obeyed my heart. Although you had commanded me to go and find out my life's partner. Yes, as a command, I carried out the will. I went from place to place. But ultimately, it is my heart to whom I am responding. I am responding to my heart. I obeyed my heart. I heard its call. It is not my father's call, my king's call. It is not his will, but it is the call of my heart which is important for her here. And even Ashwapati or somebody else may not agree with what she has decided, she is not going to change that. She has already indicated that this is well, this is done, as far as I am concerned. I have obeyed my heart and I heard its call. I am kind of responsible to it. And then she describes on the borders of a dreaming wilderness, mid shalvas, giant hills, and brooding woods, in his thatched hermitage, Jumatsena dwells, blind, exiled, outcast, once a mighty king. In three adjectives, she had described the entire nature of Jumatsena: blind, exiled, outcast. So she says very clearly, yes, one day, at one time, he was a mighty king ruling the Shalva country, but he became blind. He became blind, and therefore we are here beneath the eyes of fate, getting connected with that. Beneath the eyes of fate. I heard my call beneath the eyes of fate. Yes, he was a king, he has become blind. Because he became blind, his enemy took advantage of his blindness. His son was too young, hardly a few years old boy, and he cannot do anything at all. So his enemy took advantage of that thing and defeated in a battle, and he was exiled. He became outcast. Once a mighty king, the son of Jumatsena, Satyavan, I have met on the wild forest lonely verge. That is all she I have met. I have chosen. My heart's call is there. I have met. The marriage is a heavenly marriage. What has taken place? She put in a garland. Means it is a token of her union with him, you see. I have met on the wild forest lonely verge. My father, now you see here, she says now distinctly, my father, I have chosen. It's not king now, my father, you see. I have chosen. This is done. This is done. That's the most assertive statement that she can make. She has said very emphatically Maybe we had thousand arguments, maybe there are thousand odds and whatnot, whatnot, whatnot. I am not going to change my mind. This is done. My father I had chosen. It means that the chosen, she has already described, she heard the call of her heart. She says, I have obeyed my heart's call. There is something deep within which has come out, and I'm holding on to that. And there is no necessity for me now to change anything from what I have chosen. This is done.